Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing and football tips for Friday the 28th of June. Well, we tipped a 33 to 1 winner. Unfortunately, we only got 10s in one bet, and I believe we showed 5p profit on the day. So if you give me a like or a subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Come on, let's have a like just for good luck for Friday and the weekend. So I'm going to talk you through it. Well, let's get the football bet out the way as quick as I possibly can. Right, I've smelt a rat, and I've been smelling a rat for quite a while now. World tensions are escalating, and I believe something is going to happen soon. But how do you keep the British public asleep? Bread and circus. I believe, and I've stated this several times now, I haven't stated this, but England have got a ridiculously easy trip to the final. It hasn't gone from 2 to 1 to 5 to 4 because it's probably been well banked. It's probably because it's an extreme of how the ties have worked out and the path to the final. Have they played well enough to get there? No, they haven't. But if I were to be honest, and this video will probably not be shown to many people because I'm saying it, but I think it's rigged. I honestly do. I don't buy it one bit. I see too much symbolism, too many hand signs. I don't want to get too deep into this, otherwise I'll get a strike. But there's a lot of things going to be happening in the world very shortly, in my opinion. The videos that I watch, and I just can't ignore it anymore. So from now through the UK election, right through up until the US election, I think there's going to be a lot of turmoil. I think it'll start soon after the UK election, and then you've got the Euros progressing, and then you've got Wimbledon. Forget Wimbledon, but then you've got the Olympics, and all the videos I'm hearing about is that something's going to happen at the Olympics to escalate what's happening in the world. So what I would say is, do what you think is best for yourself. What I'm doing is I'm storing some extra food. So, no more tips. I'm not here to give you life advice. If you've got any comments, leave them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear somebody else's take. There's also going to be I'll leave that bit. So, I've had £10 single England to get to the final 5 to 4. Bearing in mind, I've already backed them at 2 to 1, which you're well aware of. I've also had another £10 on England to play Germany, because I do believe, as I say, it's rigged, but there'll also be a ritual. The ritual is England and Germany are well known, although it was several countries also involved, but don't mention the war, yeah? So you might think I'm bonkers when I say this, but I do believe, forget that bit. What I'm saying is I believe it'll be England-Germany final. I am hearing on certain videos that, remember last time in the World Cup, they're saying it was a ritual for Messi. Argentina was embarrassed by Saudi Arabia early on in the tournament. Is this England's embarrassment period before the actual either begin to? They haven't even got to play better. They just need to get to the final or win if you're going to back them to win. But I believe England will play Germany. But I'm also hearing the fact that will it be a Ronaldo ritual, like so-called two best players in the world? They've already given might be the right word, given Messi a World Cup. Is Ronaldo going to lift the Euros? Who knows? But I've waffled on way too long, so I apologise. It's 4 minutes in, so I'm also tempted to have England and Portugal, so to meet in the final. I couldn't care less who wins. I'll be pleased for England if they do, but I couldn't care less, to be fair. So I'll also mention, and I'm probably going to get loads of downvotes for this because I'm waffling on now. I will say, I won't be betting on the election. However, it wasn't too long ago that was it the Boris period where what they were saying is there was uproar because they announced or they wouldn't announce a general election, and they was on about we've got no chance if you do it now. Well, what I find interesting is currently or before they called the election, we knew they got no chance pretty much. So why call one when you could actually wait until the end of December so you could actually, at the latest date, I think it's the 28th of January of next year, you could have called an election. Why would you not? Why would you just hold off calling one, because if you know you're going to lose, why call one? Well, I don't know if you heard the interview with Andrew Bridgen, who said that Rishi Sunak did not want to be a wartime Prime Minister. So that may tell you a bit more. But I'll also say, all you've got to do, I've been on the Conservative Party and the Labour Party campaign trail YouTube channels. Yeah, I've scrolled to the comments, and there's no. I was expecting to find positive comments from Labour or Conservative supporters. I've also been on the Reform one. All I am seeing is literally Reform everywhere. So I'm tempted to have a bet on something where, because I don't think people realise the momentum, because obviously it's like this kind of Donald Trump effect where, it was like, whether you call him a populist or whatever you want to do, Nigel Farage. But let's not forget, I touched on what the beginning of the video. Let's also remember there was a guy with a moustache in the late 1930s that also got voted in by a similar, because let's not forget he was voted in. He was an extremely popular person amongst the German people. And I haven't really got a clue what I'm talking about now. But let's just bear in mind that has this been done deliberately? Because I even see the media actually giving Nigel Farage airtime. And I think they're ridiculing, I think they're trying to make Rishi Sunak as out of touch as they possibly can. Why do I say that? Because they've recently covered Nigel Farage on the boat trips. Well, they would already cover him beforehand during the Brexit, because they were saying, he's right-wing, he's racist, he's against immigration. But they love showing him now. I've seen it on the Times, I've seen it on the Guardian. Well, they wouldn't touch him beforehand, but now they can't get enough of him. They wouldn't even give him a platform. And just to ridicule him, they also shown Rishi. It's quite funny to watch. Rishi Sunak also on a boat, but he's going fishing. He's going lobster fishing. It's like I think it's been done deliberately, and also showing Keir Starmer to be a complete damp squib, whatever you want to call him, no personality whatsoever. So I believe personally they are pushing Farage now. So if you want to put any money on something where he's being tipped to do well, but he could do even better, it might be worth looking at that. I'll have a look over the weekend and I'll try and pick something out. But I apologise to the horse racing fans. Please give me a like if you haven't already. Let's get straight into it. So let me show you this bet first. So this is the afternoon bet. It is 35 pence each way doubles, 30 pence each way trebles. It comes to £8. So Nigel Tinkler had a treble on the card at Doncaster last year. He's got some decent mounts, well, not decent entries in two of the sprint races. So I'm going to give them to you, and I couldn't split them, but the prices are too stingy. I think they'll drift. So include it in your bet in the 135 you want to add at Doncaster. Dandy, Dinmont, and Golden Duke. Then also, don't place a bet yet. Go to the 245 at Doncaster and select Chill Out Charlie and Sergeant Nair. And finally, a little bit of a banker one, which I think it's a bit of a dark horse in the race. I won't call it a banker. In a 255 at Yarmouth, I think this horse is progressing nicely. Well, it's crying out for the step up in trip. Its sire liked a decent trip. I can't remember which sire actually was, but I expected the dam to be a bit of like a miler or sprinter, but the dam was running over a mile and two and a mile and four, so there's loads of stamina in the pedigree. And Reese Clutterbuck rides again. Sound like a programme, that. Reese Clutterbuck rides again. So 35 pence each way doubles, 30 pence each way trebles. Then I'm going to the Newcastle meeting. I tell you what, I really like these selections. I mean, I'm strong on them, but that means absolutely nothing. So what I've had is, I hadn't got enough in my account when I placed it, but I will be depositing very shortly. So in total, I'll be having a 30 pence each way luck 15, but I'll be splitting them. 15 pence each way luck 15, taking the prices. 15 pence each way, leaving the prices. My nap of the century. Just kidding. I've got a real strong fancy for this one. Problem is, it's an amateur jockey race. It's Jewel Maker at 10 to 1 in the 4:23 at Newcastle, paying 4 places instead of 3. Loves the all-weather. It's been running on soft twice. I believe that this horse is crying out to get back on the all-weather. It runs well at Newcastle. Okay jockey on board. Thomas Easterby. I think 10-1 is far too big. And it's got a good chance. The second selection is Nelson Gay at 13-2 in the 4:55 at Newcastle, paying 5 places instead of 3. It's another horse that is crying to get back on the all-weather. Decent form on the all-weather. It's well handicapped. It's got loads of pace, and I do think it will be up there from the off. The third selection is Makana at 9-1, or Mackinac, in the 5:25 at Newcastle, paying 5 places instead of 3. Guess what? It's starting to get back on the all-weather. It's ran 2 very good races in its last 2 runs on the all-weather. These weren't the most recent runs. These were like spread out. But it runs well on the all-weather. It hasn't run that well this year so far, but I think this return to the all-weather will see some improvement. And if it's held up, I think it's got, or mid-division, I think it's got a cracking chance. And finally, Red Danielle at 17-2 in the 6 o'clock at Newcastle, paying 4 places instead of 3. This horse must improve to win, but I do believe, I didn't actually realise that William Haggis moved stables at the beginning of last year. Maybe there might be some kind of transition period, but I think he's actually really beginning at the moment to hit some form. And I think this horse, because I think Tom Markham's been pretty quiet so far, but they just seem to be hitting some form. So that would be the next best of the day. However, it does need to improve by about £10, I believe. But horses can underachieve in the race, so potentially it might not have to improve too much. But I think it's got a good chance. And also, I've had a 25p each way accumulator on the same selections. So, I really apologise for the long video. If you're here now, just leave me a comment, if you will, please. I'm nearly 12 minutes in. Give me a like or a subscribe. So, the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.